Motherfucking Shadow of the fucking Colossus. Before we go any further, I just want to say that Shadow of the Colossus is one of my favorite games on the PlayStation 2. It's pure fucking art. So what do you do in this game? Well, the premise of Shadow of the Colossus is actually very simple. A girl you love is dead and you want her alive, and in order to revive her, you need to slay 16 Colossi. That's it about the story. The rest you need to find out for yourself because I don't want to spoil anything to you. So what do you do in this game? Well, you kill Colossi. 16 of them to be exact. There are no enemies beside Colossi. So essentially the game consists of 16 boss battles. For its time, this was unheard of. A game that consists only of boss battles. No fucking way. It was very unique for its time. Battles in Shadow of the Colossus are not your typical battles in which you hack and slash. Each colossi is a puzzle. Generally, they have a glowing blue spot which you must slash with your sword.
Hey folks, how's it going?
But getting to those spots is the real challenge.
Almost completely
Stabbing those weak spots takes maybe a minute or two, but actually getting to that weak spot takes roughly about half an hour. You climb colossi, you walk on their bodies, you climb on their fur, arms, etc. You also have your grip meter, which you have to keep an eye on. If that runs out, you're probably gonna fall off a colossi. Your only two weapons are the sword, which you stab the colossi's weak spot with, and a bow, which is singly in fights. The most beautiful thing is when you beat a colossi and you watch it fall down, you feel sad. The game captures this feeling incredibly well. The land you inhabit is like a wasteland. You have a horse which serves as a means of transportation to the colossi battle. Finding the colossi is also a small puzzle. You can collect fruit and kill small animals in the world and they will increase your grip meter and health. And that's pretty much it, considering things to do in the open world. Shadow of the Colossus took me around 12 hours to complete. I played on the PlayStation 3 in the Ico Remastered collection, which consists of Ico and Shadow of the Colossus Remastered for the PlayStation 3 in 1080p. The frame rate is locked at 30 frames per second, and it's an improvement considering that the original PlayStation 2 game ran at 20 frames per second during taxing scenes. They could have upped the frames per second to about 60 considering this is a PlayStation 2 game, but it's far from unplayable as it is. You really need to finish Shadow of the Colossus if you haven't already. It's a goddamn work of art. The controls are sometimes a bit frustrating, but overall far from unplayable. And keep in mind that this game is old and it came out for the PlayStation 2. The best way to play the game is either the PlayStation 3 remastered version or on a PlayStation 2 PC emulator. I think you can tweak the living bejesus on the emulator and even make the game run at 60 frames per second and force anti-aliasing. The PS2 version is also okay and is the original version. It runs at 30 frames per second 480p and the FPS regularly dips to 20 FPS or even lower, but when I played it back in the day I didn't find this to be distracting at all. Shadow of the Colossus is a work of art. Beautifully made world, great story open to interpretation, clever boss battles, and the feeling of killing a colossi is something unique. If I had to give a score to this game, I'd give it 9.8 out of 10. This is, without any exaggeration, one of the best games ever made.